Everyone's over here talking about boxing, this, that, and the other, but my favorite rivalry, Subaru WRX STI versus Mitsubishi EVO. Now that's a rivalry. I'm not gonna say whether or not I'm a Subaru fan or anything. Both cars, similar recipe, 4-cylinder, turbo, all-wheel drive. Don't forget, awesome with a sprinkle of rally car in there. Actually, a lot of sprinkle of rally car. Pretty much a handful of rally car. Sadly, in 2015, we lost the EVO. Stupid Mitsubishi decided to get out of this fight and focus on crossovers. So by default, that means the Subaru won and the EVO lost, because here we are in 2019 and we obviously know which car is still in production. But I'll wipe my tears and move on and talk about how awesome the 2015 versions of each of these cars were and do a little comparison and just talk about the EVO and the STI for a minute. And don't you guys worry, I'm not just gonna talk about these cars. In the next coming weeks, I'm gonna do a video on the WRX and on the EVO. So if you guys are interested in seeing those videos, be sure to subscribe. So that way, as soon as I drop those videos, you guys can let me know how you feel about my reviews. On paper, both these cars were pretty similar. So you had the 2015 STI, that was a 2.5 liter. Then you had the 2015 EVO, which was a 2 liter. The STI was sitting at 305 horsepower and the EVO was sitting at 303 horsepower, and that's for the final edition. The STI, 290 torque, the EVO, 305 foot-pounds of torque. As far as transmission goes, this is where they differ a little bit here. The 6-speed was the only option that you can get the STI in, and then as far as the EVO goes, you had the option of the dual clutch transmission or you had the 6-speed manual. Tomato, potato, everyone has their preference. I like to go with the 6-speed, but again, that's just me. The STI sitting at about 3,300 pounds, the EVO sitting about 3,500 pounds, depending on options, transmission, things like that. The STI supposedly could do 0 to 60 in about 4.1 seconds, whereas the EVO was sitting about 4.4 seconds. Really, only you guys with the super tuned butt dynos could tell the difference between those. The STI could knock out the quarter mile in 13.1 seconds. The EVO sitting at 13.3 seconds on the quarter mile. So again, on paper, I don't know, it's hard to say which one of these cars is the overall better car to have. There is no clear winner, unless you're going based on specs, then I'd say at that time the STI might have taken that victory. The best way to describe these cars is that they had different personalities. Someone who said they love the STI, they may not enjoy the EVO, but someone who drove the EVO may not enjoy the STI. It just depends on the driver style that you have. Not to be cheesy, but you definitely have to find the car that fits your personality. You have to become one with that car. I'll say this, these cars definitely have won the award for the worst gas mileage 4-cylinders out there. Both of them were looking at like 17 city and like 23 highway, which for a 4-cylinder is just unheard of. It's just crazy. This was when Subaru decided it was a good idea to redesign the STI. And I can't say I'm a huge fan. It's grown on me, but I can't say at the time that I was a huge fan. So for looks, around that time point, I'd go for the EVO. The EVO 10 was definitely the sexier car. There were so many jokes around at the time where everyone was saying that Subaru decided they wanted to make the WRX STI more like an EVO. I don't know, what do you guys think? As far as interior, I would really, both cars, the interior was kind of lame. I wouldn't really say that I prefer either of the interiors, but if I were to pick a winner right now, I'd go with Subaru for daily, but I would go for the EVO as far as my track car. I would just like the Recaro seats in that. It was very rough, it was very rally inspired. It just seemed true and honest to what it was trying to be. Whereas the Subaru, I felt like, was just trying to be more of a everyday, give you more creature comforts, more refined. And so I think that was a big difference between the two. Now this one is my favorite category. As far as sound goes, I love, love, love the sound of the Boxer rumble. There's nothing that I've heard as far as 4-cylinder goes that can beat that. If you find a better sounding 4-cylinder than the Boxer motor, you let me know, because I don't think that there is. It just sounded like wailing and screams and noise, but it didn't actually have like a great musical note to it. Something was always just missing with the EVO, and I haven't found an exhaust on an EVO that really just made me say, that sounds beautiful. Whereas I love the snaps, crackles, and pops of the Boxer rumble. Both cars actually had a pretty nice blow-off valve sound, and I loved hearing that. That's an awesome sound. Kind of sounded like this, but better than that actually. I would go for the STI as far as an everyday 6-speed transmission that I would want to drive. But if I had the choice of a rally car and something that was actually a track-based car, I would choose the EVO. It wins there. Just for some reason, the clutch on the Subaru felt more everyday friendly, whereas the clutch on the EVO was more aggressive and ready to drive fast and everything like that. So I can't say that there's a clear winner. They both just kind of serve different purposes when breaking it down like that. The last category I want to talk about is just overall driving feel. This one, again, super subjective. So my opinion on it, I would choose the STI to live with. But if I could, I would also have an EVO in my garage. There's something about the EVO that I like. It's kind of like the Viper. It's aggressive and fun and sporty, and it could kind of kill you. But that's exciting and that's fun. Whereas the STI is kind of refined and doesn't really make you feel like you're really able to hurt yourself because the car is so composed and orchestrated. But I like the EVO. And that's not to say that the STI isn't exciting. It's exciting in a different way. It's in a way that you can hop in and drive and feel good about what you're doing. The EVO is the same thing, but I always felt like there was a little bit more of a learning curve with the EVO. It wanted you to get to know it before you could fully master it. Whereas the STI, anyone could kind of hop in and feel like they're a pretty great driver. And that's pretty much my little spiel on the STI versus EVO topic. So let me know what you guys think down below. And if you guys are interested in talking some more about cars, I've got a couple more videos planned. So be sure to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more. And remember guys, fear no EVO.